The gardens of Jetavana were serene, surrounded by towering banyan trees and the soft hum of nature's melody. Buddha sat in deep meditation, his presence radiant, and his disciples gathered in silent reverence. Among the disciples, a merchant approached, adorned in silk and gold, his steps heavy with the weight of worldly sorrow. The merchant bowed low, his voice trembling as he spoke. "Master, my life is overflowing with wealth, yet I feel empty." Buddha opened his eyes, his gaze calm, carrying the wisdom of countless lifetimes and the gentleness of universal compassion. "Tell me," Buddha began, his voice steady, "what does your heart seek that your treasures cannot provide?" The merchant hesitated, then answered, "I seek peace, a feeling that evades me despite possessing all material success and recognition." Buddha gestured toward the earth beside him and said, "Do you see this soil? It holds the secret you desire. This soil is abundant because it embraces simplicity. It nourishes life not through excess, but through balance and harmony." He picked up a handful of soil, letting it fall softly, each particle carrying the promise of growth. "Your soul, like this soil, has the potential to nurture peace, but it is burdened by unnecessary cravings and possessions." Buddha reached for a clay bowl, its surface worn, yet it served its purpose as an instrument of sustenance. This bowl, though plain, carries water and holds nourishment. It does not yearn for adornment or glittering decoration. True abundance lies not in adding to what you have, but in removing what obscures your essence and purpose. The merchant watched intently, his golden rings seeming dimmer, his silk robes heavier with each word spoken by Buddha. "I understand your meaning, Master, but how do I let go of desires ingrained deeply within me over many years?" Buddha smiled softly, his wisdom radiating through his words like sunlight breaking through the morning mist. "Begin by observing your thoughts. Watch each craving as it arises, not as your master but as your visitor. Ask yourself, does this possession, this yearning, bring peace or fuel dissatisfaction? Reflect with mindfulness and honesty. Let your thoughts settle, like dust stirred by wind. When dust settles, clarity arises, revealing what truly matters." Buddha leaned forward, his voice tender. "Freedom from excess is achieved step by step, not through sudden change or force. Release one possession, one unnecessary craving at a time, and feel the lightness of liberation filling your heart." The journey to minimalism is not about losing, but about rediscovering what nourishes your soul and supports your well-being. The merchant lowered his head, his once adorned figure now humbled before the profound simplicity Buddha embodied. "Master, I vow to reflect deeply and begin letting go of what binds me." Seeking peace through simplicity, Buddha nodded, his serene gaze a beacon of encouragement. "Your journey begins with intention and flourishes through persistence. Remember, the greatest wealth is mindfulness, the freedom to experience life without the chains of unfulfilled desires." The merchant thanked Buddha and departed, his heart filled with both challenge and promise. Stepping toward a new horizon, the disciples watched silently, their hearts moved by the exchange. As the teachings of minimalism touched their lives anew, Buddha turned toward his disciples and said, "Each of you carries seeds of wisdom. Nurture them through simplicity and mindfulness. Let go of what clouds your essence. Embrace clarity, and let your life flow freely, like rivers unbound by barriers." Buddha's voice echoed softly through the gardens, merging with the rustle of leaves and the whispers of nature's harmony. The disciples bowed deeply, their minds focused on the practice of letting go, their hearts embracing Buddha's timeless wisdom. The golden sun began its descent, casting warm light across Jetavana, illuminating the path of simplicity Buddha had revealed. As evening approached, the gardens remained vibrant, reflecting the serene presence of Buddha and his profound teachings. The soil that Buddha had spoken of seemed richer now, a symbol of endless possibilities through mindfulness and balance. His words lingered in the air, their resonance stretching beyond the gardens, touching lives and reshaping perspectives near and far. Another day. The sun rose gently over Jetavana, casting golden light through the branches of ancient, towering trees. Buddha sat in silent reflection. His disciples gathered close, their hearts open to the wisdom he would soon impart. A young prince approached, his royal garments shimmering yet failing to conceal the heavy burden visible in his furrowed brow. He bowed deeply before Buddha, his voice trembling. "Master, I am bound by expectations. My duties overwhelming and suffocating." Buddha's gaze met the prince's, calm and unwavering, radiating compassion that instantly began to soothe the prince's inner turmoil. "Prince," Buddha said softly, "speak of this burden that chains your spirit, so we may understand its nature together." The prince sighed deeply and replied, "My kingdom expects much of me. I am trapped by obligation and fear of failure." Buddha gestured toward the wide expanse of sky above, its infinite blue stretching beyond the reach of human comprehension. "Do you see the sky? Vast and free? It carries clouds, storms, and sunlight without clinging or resisting," Buddha said. "Freedom does not mean the absence of responsibility. True freedom arises from releasing attachment to outcomes and fears of judgment." He pointed to a bird in graceful flight, its wings moving effortlessly, as though it was one with the heavens. "The bird does not hoard the sky, nor does it fear its vastness. It navigates purposefully but remains unbound," Buddha explained. "Live your duties as the bird flies, with commitment but without being enslaved by desire or fear of failure." The prince listened intently, the weight in his expression softening as Buddha's words resonated within his troubled heart. "Master," the prince asked, "how do I release this attachment to my role, my identity, and the expectations of others?" Buddha smiled gently, as though the answer was as simple as the breeze rustling through the leaves. "Begin with mindfulness, observing your thoughts and emotions without judgment or reaction, as though you are watching passing clouds," Buddha instructed. "Recognize that your role is like water in a clay pot. It holds its shape but is not the pot itself. Know that who you are transcends the title of prince. Your essence is infinite, unbound by external definitions," Buddha continued. The prince's eyes glistened with tears as he absorbed the profound simplicity of Buddha's teachings. "Master, your words offer me clarity. But how do I walk this path when my life is enmeshed in expectations?" Buddha lifted a single fallen leaf, holding it between his fingers, its delicate veins illuminated by the sunlight. "This leaf, though separate from the tree, still dances in the wind. It moves with life but does not resist it. Likewise, embrace your responsibilities but allow life to flow freely. Resistance creates suffering. Acceptance cultivates peace," Buddha said softly. "Detach not from your duties, but from the need to control outcomes. For life unfolds as it must," he added. The prince knelt before Buddha, his royal stature humbled by the overwhelming sense of liberation filling his being. "Master, I vow to honor my path, to serve with love but without binding my soul to expectations," the prince said. Buddha nodded with approval, his serene presence affirming the prince's commitment to embrace freedom within his princely duties. "As you journey, remember, attachment is not a shackle placed upon you by others but by your own mind," Buddha said. "With each step, loosen that grip, and you will find the lightness of liberation illuminating your every action," he concluded. The prince departed, his steps no longer heavy, his spirit infused with newfound clarity and a sense of profound peace. Buddha turned to his disciples, his gaze inviting them to reflect upon the wisdom shared with the young prince. "Remember, Life's freedom lies not in avoiding responsibilities but in carrying them lightly. Unburdened by attachment or fear, Buddha reminded them, fulfill your roles with purpose. Like the bird in the sky or the leaf in the wind, he continued. Do not seek to control every moment, for life is best lived when it flows like water within the clay pot. The disciples bowed deeply, their hearts and minds ready to embody the teachings of detachment and mindful freedom. As the day wore on, the gardens of Jetavana remained vibrant, reflecting the profound simplicity of Buddha's timeless presence. The sky, vast and infinite, seemed to echo Buddha's wisdom, its boundless expanse mirroring the freedom found in letting go. The prince's footsteps faded into the distance, carrying with them the seeds of transformation sown by Buddha's compassionate guidance. Buddha returned to silent meditation, his teachings lingering like a gentle breeze that continued to touch hearts near and far. The disciples, inspired by the day's lessons, found themselves lighter, their lives brighter, as they embraced the path of liberation. Another day, the dawn broke softly over Jetavana, its gentle rays illuminating the gardens where Buddha sat in meditation. His disciples gathered quietly, their minds attuned to the serenity of the morning and the wisdom awaiting them. A farmer arrived, his clothes simple and worn, his hands calloused yet his demeanor calm, radiating quiet contentment. The farmer bowed respectfully, then spoke, Master, my life is humble, yet I feel rich in ways I cannot explain. Buddha nodded, his gaze warm and inviting as he gestured to the farmer to sit among the disciples. Speak of your daily life, Buddha said gently. Share the actions that cultivate this richness you feel within your heart. The farmer began. I rise with gratitude and care for the earth, planting seeds and harvesting with mindful attention. I eat only what I need, appreciating the effort behind every meal, tasting the labor that nurtures my sustenance, he continued. My possessions are few, yet each serves its purpose. I find joy in their utility rather than their appearance, he added. Buddha turned to his disciples and said, Hear the farmer's words. In simplicity lies abundance, and in mindfulness lies peace. Our lives are often cluttered with desires for more, obscuring the beauty and fulfillment within what we already have, Buddha explained. He picked up a cup filled with water and said, This water nourishes, yet it asks for nothing more than existence. Each sip you take, do so with awareness. This transforms the act of drinking into an experience of abundance, Buddha added. The disciples listened intently, their hearts moved by both the farmer's humility and Buddha's profound teachings. Buddha smiled softly and continued, Abundance is not measured by quantity but by the depth of appreciation in each moment. The farmer bowed his head and said, Master, I have found peace in simplicity, but some still see poverty in my life. Buddha responded, True poverty arises not from owning little, but from craving more, never finding satisfaction in what is present. He gestured toward a fruit-bearing tree, its branches heavy with ripe offerings, yet its roots firmly grounded. This tree gives freely without seeking more. Its roots anchor its being, drawing strength from the earth without excess, Buddha explained. Live as this tree lives, finding balance and sustaining peace through connection to what truly nurtures your soul, he added. The farmer nodded and said, I understand, Master. My life is rich not in possessions, but in gratitude and mindful living. Buddha turned to his disciples again and said, Learn from the farmer. Abundance flows from intentional action and mindful presence. Mindfulness transforms ordinary moments into extraordinary ones, awakening us to the richness inherent in life itself, Buddha continued. The disciples bowed deeply, their minds filled with reflection on the teachings of mindful abundance Buddha had shared. Buddha's voice carried through the gardens, merging with the rustling leaves and the gentle hum of nature's harmony. Each of you carries the seed of abundance within, waiting to flourish through simplicity and presence, Buddha reminded them. As you live, ask yourself not what you lack, but what you already possess that brings fulfillment, he concluded. The disciples meditated on Buddha's words, their hearts embracing the path of mindfulness and intentional simplicity. The farmer departed, his steps light, his soul enriched further by Buddha's reaffirmation of his chosen path. Buddha returned to silent meditation, the morning's tranquility settling deeply into the minds and hearts of all present. The golden sun rose higher, casting its warm light over Jetavana, illuminating the timeless wisdom that transcended generations. The teachings of mindful abundance lingered, touching lives both near and far, shaping perspectives toward gratitude and intentional living. The gardens remained vibrant and serene, reflecting the essence of Buddha's teachings and the beauty of a life well lived. Buddha's presence, though silent, echoed through the hearts of those around him, a beacon of peace and wisdom. As the day unfolded, Jetavana flourished as a haven of mindfulness, simplicity, and the richness born of purposeful living. The disciples vowed to carry the teachings forward, planting seeds of abundance and mindfulness wherever their paths might lead. Thank you for watching. Buddha's teachings are always with you. Subscribe to our channel and we will see you in the next video.